Are Solana NFTs dead? Well, I think most people can agree that's probably not the answer. There is so much love behind so many of these projects and so much freaking money that's getting thrown into them. I don't think Solana NFTs are going anywhere anytime soon. But more than that, folks, I think a bull run is imminent. And in today's video, I'm going to show you guys everything you need to know to be prepared for the next Solana NFT bull run, how you guys can maximize your profits, and of course, a few reminders and general tips overall. So if you guys are new, drop a like, subscribe, and let's get right into it, folks. So first things first, we have to understand what has happened here over the past week. And to be honest, guys, it has been an absolute bloodbath for a lot of people. The main catalyst over the past week in overall crash in crypto was, let's be honest, Terra Luna. This is a tragedy on so many levels. There were a lot of people who lost an asinine amount of money. Now, the reason why Terra Luna affects Solana is because this is the entire crypto ecosystem. Terra Luna did have some of its own NFTs and was loosely related to the NFT space. But before we go any further, guys, let's talk a little bit about my Patreon. I've worked tirelessly to make this the best NFT group out there. By joining my Patreon, you guys get literally an insane amount of content. You'll get a custom Discord role, direct access to me in a DM, full access to Matt's NFT dojo, crypto and altcoin trade signals, access to my exclusive NFT watch list, whitelist opportunities, priority access to my live streams, and so much more. To be honest with you guys, I think it's a steal for only $10 a month. And of course, if you guys would like to talk to me over voice in a voice call, you guys could always join the Emerald and above tier, which has that offered. Currently, there are hundreds of people joining the Patreon every month, and they absolutely love it. Link down below in the description. And from what experts have said, there is a general idea that the reason why this Terra Luna debacle even happened was because the team was not overly transparent and not really on the ball with their stablecoin UST. Now, none of this is directly linked to Solana NFTs. So what's the deal? There has been a shift, folks, in the way that we perceive projects, whether it be a crypto project, an NFT project, doesn't matter. There has been a shift in the way in which we perceive projects, and I don't think you'll ever be able to get away from that. So Solana right now is in a position where only the most qualified projects, the most qualified communities, and the most trusted communities can be, sort of accepted and allowed into the space. If you are running a Solana NFT project, or if you are buying a Solana NFT project, I can't tell you what to do, but a little bit of advice: try to be as transparent as possible, because now more than ever, fears are higher about whether or not a team is going to execute on their roadmap, is going to have the community that they say they will have in the future, is going to do things that they are planning on and at least telling the public about. A couple of projects that look to be doing that fantastically, I think everybody knows about, are OK Bears and DeGods. These two projects, guys, are just the creme de la crop of all the Solana NFTs out there, and I only own one of these. I only own DeGods, so I have no incentive for even mentioning OK Bears. But folks, these two projects have basically blown away all expectations. I made a video when OK Bears first came out, and I said, guys, it looks like this is just way too pumped up. There's no reason why this project should be performing the way it is, but the amount of volume has been ridiculous. The amount of community building has been really good, and there is tons of Ethereum money that is flowing into OK Bears, which of course is on Solana. These projects, in my opinion, will one day become completely unaffordable, and right now they're still very expensive, but one day they will become completely unaffordable, and here's why. The price of Solana right now is $50, and roughly whenever you guys are watching this, it will probably be similar. If you are looking to buy an OK Bear or a DeGod, having the SOL in your wallet right now is probably the best thing you could do. I mentioned in a recent video as well that Solana probably isn't going below $60, $50-ish, at least at the moment, for a long time in the future. It might hit 40 on a particular bad day, but guys, I think most of the blood has already been spilled. So if you are looking to get access to a DeGod, an OK Bear, or just a high-quality Solana project, a tip for you guys: hold on to this SOL in your wallet now, because what's likely going to happen is likely what's going to always happen, and that is, of course, the fact that as the value of Solana goes up, the floor for projects goes down. Thankfully, we are still experiencing a pump right now with the projects, but that very well could change at some point in the future. Once the NFT pump ends, as people realize that, hey, Solana and Ethereum are like super cheap right now, once that pump ends, it is very likely that those floors are going to come tumbling down at some point in the future. And that isn't me spreading fear and whatnot. It's just logical. It is likely what is going to happen at some point. Another thing to think about, folks, is that reputation right now is basically more important than anything else. And even just scanning a page like Magic Eden here, there are a lot of different thoughts that I have about all of these projects, but try to keep in mind, again, a couple of things, either community building or some kind of roadmap execution. Now, right off the bat, I can look at this page and say, hey, wait a minute, Pesky Penguins is a pretty good project. They have had a floor of roughly 5 Solana for the past 6+ months. That's pretty impressive. It really hasn't changed. This is, in my opinion, a very cheap option if you're looking to buy a project that probably will not move. If we take a look at some other projects here, Solana Monkey Business, this has probably the strongest community overall in the Solana industry. The most amount of influencers hold on to this project, and even though they might not be the most vocal about it, Solana Monkey Business probably isn't going anywhere anytime ever. So that's just a general thought about maybe some of these OG projects. If you want to look at some of the more popular ones, Cats on Crack had a ridiculous community, ridiculous pump, and right now could be bought for a pretty good price. That's something I'll keep in mind. Taking a look at the rest on the homepage here, I could take a look at Blocksmith Labs and say, hey, wait a minute, this is run by a lot of these same people who run DeGods. Maybe this might be something good to purchase as, hey, the DeGods team is working on this. So again, you guys don't have to do, investments in these projects that I just showed, but this is the thought process. This is what I am trying to get across to you guys, is that there are basically a couple of different factors that go into Solana projects, and honestly, now more than ever, those factors are the only thing that matters. It is either a good team with good execution on their roadmap, or a good team with a good community that simply has a lot of hype behind them and likely won't be going anywhere anytime soon. DeGods also has some new rewards coming soon here for dust holders. This has driven the value of dust up. It has also driven the floor of DeGods up, and OK Bears is basically doing the same thing. They have something with wristbands coming out kind of soon. Don't know exactly what it is about, but these big projects, these big industry leaders in Solana are actually doing things to constructively build upon their communities. So to wrap things up, folks, again, I would be doing what I think most people in the Sol community right now are trying to do, and that is, of course, buy as much Solana as you can on sale, dollar cost average in while it is cheap, and then wait on whenever there will be a dip on particular projects, on particular floors at some point in the future, and snag them up with that cheap Solana that you bought. So that way, if you buy a project in the future for 10 Solana, it only really would have cost you $500 out of your pocket as opposed to $1,000 out of your pocket when Solana is worth $100 again. So that is just the basic thought process. But again, folks, you always do run that risk of a project just flying up and never coming back down. And really, I think OK Bears, DeGods, Cats on Crack, maybe a couple of those major projects might do that. The rest, I think, will have a normal kind of seasonal drop as the value of the token goes up. So just to keep those things in mind, remember, transparency, loyalty, overall community building is going to be more important now than ever, because there are a lot of fears going around the NFT and crypto community overall about teams and people who are not entirely transparent and or not entirely executing on their roadmaps. So thank you guys so much for watching. My name is Matt. Hope you guys have enjoyed. Again, check the Patreon down below in the description. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.